Okay, a short video on installing a garage door opener on a 2019 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. The first thing you're going to need is the receiver and the transmitter. You can buy that as a package for about 120 bucks. You're also going to need this wiring harness. If you already have an accessory wiring harness on the bike, you don't need it, but in my case it was brand new, so I needed to buy this wiring harness. The harness comes with all this. You're going to have a power wire labeled up here as A, and we're going to have the harness right here. The wires we're going to use are going to be these three right here. The other two ends on the harness are for different accessories that you can use later on. Step number one is we're going to remove the bags, the seat, the side covers. You're going to need to remove the gas tank, and you're also going to need to remove the front of your fairing. It takes about 2.5 hours to do the whole job, and there aren't any real special tools required. We're also going to do this without tapping into any factory wiring. So the very first thing we need to do is to install this wiring harness and power wire. So you will have to remove any brackets back here, take the computer out to access the terminal under the battery. Once we get to that point, you put this under the positive terminal of the battery, and this end right here will actually run into the back of the wiring harness. To access this wiring harness, you'll come over here on the right side cover, pull this off, and there'll be a dummy or blank piece of plastic where the harness connected in. Take this out, save it, discard it, put the wiring harness in, and run it up through in front of the battery. Then, to get the power wire into your harness over here, you'll need a little screwdriver to pop this white piece of plastic up. Be careful with it, don't break it. Once it's out, there's a little plastic pin in there. You can poke it through from behind with a paper clip and then install this wire. Once you push this in, line it up with the other two wires are there, replace the white piece of plastic, plug it in until it clicks, and we're good to go right there. Now, the gas tank on this bike is on because I've already put this together, but imagine that if the gas tank is off. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take the transmitter, and they give you a two-way piece of sticky tape, and I put this on the right-hand side of the support bracket above the radio. 3 wires come off of that. They're orange and white, black and white. The orange and white and black will go through a little chaseway, and they will go underneath the gas tank and all the way back to that wiring harness. The white wire will connect into the high beam wire of the factory harness. The white and blue wire on the high beam, you would normally tap into that. I have an LED, and I didn't want to tap into the factory wiring harness, so I just tapped into the red wire with a little Scotch lock over here. And I'll seal all this up before I put it all back together. Once I've tapped into there, I come to the back of the bike where I had my orange wire and the black, and I will put those in using butt connectors into the appropriate wires that were coming off that wiring harness. Once I've gotten that done, you can put everything back together. The next step is going to be to install the Harley-Davidson receiver. This is pretty simple. You plug it into the outlet, run 2 wires down to the back of your garage door where the switch is tied in. You'll just push on the bottom tabs in there, stick the wires in, and they should grip and hold. Now, to program this, you're going to need some help for about 30 seconds. There's a little button up there, kind of difficult to see in the black, but once you push that and hold it, the red light will begin to flash. Somebody needs to push it and hold that button while you come back down to the motorcycle and do the program sequence. Now, this is pretty easy. There's 2 different programming sequences they give you. The first one, which is what I did, starts at low to high to low. Once you do that, release the button on the receiver, and you're programmed and good to go. To test it out, turn the ignition on, hit your high beam button, and you got yourself a garage door opener. Now, one thing I will say in the instructions, it had claimed that there would be a flashing light on this transmitter, and there is no flashing light. Maybe it happens with a different model, I don't know, but that's all I had to do is wire it in, do the sequence, and it came on ready to go. I hope it helped.